Another major debut or return is planned for the inaugural episode of AEW Collision. We got an update on an NXT Champion following an injury scare on this week's show and some WWE SmackDown Draft special plans, so stay tuned. So AEW Collision looks to be happening. Are you pumped? Are you excited?
I'm pumped.
More wrestling action.
Yes.
CM Punk is widely reported as making his return on that particular episode of television, but according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, another big debut or return is planned for the show. So it's written, the show, believed to be called AEW Collision, as noted last week, is expected to debut on the 17th of the 6th with a show from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern from the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, which would also be the return of CM Punk, along with what is expected to be another major name debut or return. That's all we know right now. Throw some names at me, homeboy.
Bobby Fish.
Yeah, maybe.
Bobby Fish.
Not. Yeah.
That's Andrade, maybe.
Andrade's a good shout. Miro,
we'll
talk
that's
about
also
him
a good
bit.
shout. We certainly will. I think those two are the biggest ones. I can't really think of
as far as
anything
returns
else.
go.
Yeah, off the top of my head.
So, as far as debuts go,
yeah,
Kotra Bushi.
Yes.
I'll talk about him in a bit as well. A few very, very outside guesses here. Ryback? Hope not. Del Rio? Hope not. One that I genuinely think is a possibility. Goldberg. Because you've got the big show coming up in the UK. You want to sell lots and lots of tickets. And I actually think it's a possibility because love him or hate him, love him or hate the booking, all the Fiend stuff, all that. Yeah. He sells tickets.
There's a reason
they used him for so long. And people, I think a lot of wrestling fans tend to undervalue Goldberg a bit. Because we were so fed up with the booking, people have just gone, I don't want to see him anymore. Lots of people do. Lots of people still do. I think that's a possibility. Ace Steel? Return?
Maybe not an Ace Steel return. I think the ones you said there are pretty likely. Are definitely pretty likely. I think.
What?
Well, like
Ryback.
not Ryback.
I genuinely think Goldberg's a possibility.
Yeah, Goldberg,
Miro
or Andrade, someone like that. It would be nice to see them back on TV again. And we've got another show now in Collision coming, so it would be nice to finally see them have something to do on TV because there's a lot of there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot going on, but it looks like one show might not be sticking around for much longer. It's already been reported that Dark Elevation looks to be on its way out. Fight.tv advertising their recent show as the last in the series, or the last episode is a big special filled with some of the best ever matches on Dark Elevation. But according to the Observer again, it looks like Dark might be going the same way.
Damn.
So it says, the next question regards the future of both Dark and Dark Elevation. He recaps the fight, listing it as the finale. Nothing new for the show was taped on the 26th episode taping because they taped Ring of Honor and Rampage. AEW haven't said anything specifically in that direction, but it's known to be a subject of discussion as to the future of those shows. In adding a second taping per week, you would have time to do Rampage tapings on Wednesday and Ring of Honor tapings on Friday and have time for the streaming shows, or at least one for the first hour of the Wednesday tapings, but it's already putting on 5 hours of product most week and 10 hours during a pay-per-view week. And he says that the streaming show numbers, they've greatly declined. We all know that, of course. They rarely do angles on there, so seeing it as less necessary. So a bit of speculation there as to whether Dark might be going the way of the dodo. Would you be sad to lose Dark?
I mean, to be honest, I never really watched it that frequently, other than when I heard there was a good match on Dark or Dark Elevation.
Same. I watch the matches that people go, that's worth watching.
Yeah, definitely. But now, I guess now that we've got a few more AEW TV shows on Ring of Honor as well, you would sort of hope that there is, as we were saying in the last point there, in the last story, that there will be enough TV time to at least get a majority of people on there, rather than have like your Dark and your Dark Elevations too, especially if they're taped, along with other things at the same time, and you've got a huge chunk, you've got an audience that has a huge chunk to sort of like sit through in one go.
The thing with the Dark stuff and Dark Elevation is you look at the numbers on those and the ad revenue generated by the number of hits that they're getting is going to be minimal for a big company like AEW.
Yeah.
It's going to be a drop in the ocean, seriously small earnings. So it's a nice little bonus for the live crowd. You get to see lots and lots of wrestling and everything. At the same time, you could argue that it might end up leading to burnout if you're watching too much wrestling before the main show that you've actually paid
that's
to
very
see.
true, for sure.
We got an update update on Kotra Bushi. We just mentioned him by name earlier, signing with the AEW. Don't get your hopes up here. Regarding Kotra Bushi, nothing has happened past he is interested in working at AEW, but there has been nothing new in that direction. According to those close to him, he's probably not looking at working anywhere full-time, but would be open to traveling for big matches that he wanted to do, like he did because he wanted to do Bloodsport. That really puts me off seeing him. I don't want to see any part-timers. I like Ibushi a lot. I really like Ibushi. I think he's amazing, but I don't want him just coming in part-time and doing the odd bit here and there. I think AEW have done that here and there already to varying levels of success.
Yeah, I agree, especially if it's something to do with, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks and the whole storyline that they're embroiled in at the moment with the Blackpool Combat Club too. You don't want to see someone kind of just like, I'm coming to your aid, Kenny, or whoever he decides to team with, and then all of a sudden just like dip off for a decent amount of time and then come back, and it's like, okay.
I'm up for him coming in and doing some storylines here and there, and if there's a break between them, but I think the key to good television is consistency and seeing storylines play out.
Yeah.
So him just coming in and doing a dream match there, lots of fans will like it, but that's not what I tune in for.
I agree.
As much as stories are what sells wrestling to me.
And then you don't almost want to lean on the kind of like, the crutch of what Edge is sort of doing in WWE in terms that he comes back for a bit and then gets injured and written off for a little while.
Diminishing returns, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think so anyway. Not to say I don't like Edge.
No, of course not. Of course not.
No change in AEW status of Miro. Again, Observer. Regarding some frequently asked questions as of late, there's nothing new on Miro. He's on the roster, hasn't been used. So that's disappointing because he's very, very talented. I really thought he was going to be like a super, super big deal. He was like, he's one of the big examples in the early days of AEW of like, here's an ex-WWE guy, super over in WWE. They dropped the ball with him. They didn't use him as effectively as they should have done. And then he comes to AEW and he's done a lot of gash. And he's not been on telly.
I guess I'm laying a lot of hope on Collision and, another extra hour or two or whatever it is of AEW TV for there to be some progression and some growth for a lot of these superstars that we were so buzzing about when we heard they were going to AEW, for sure. And I think a lot of people have been clamoring for Miro for a long time now, and I just give him something substantial. He can do it.
Can he be a main eventer in AEW?
I think eventually.
Yeah, I think so as well.
For sure. I think there's a lot to be sort of repaired with him at the moment, in terms of us seeing him as that sort of superstar. But
I have no idea what's going on with him. I don't know.
Well, he's been given sort of hints of creative that he's sort of turned down in the past. So maybe just nothing's really clicking with him at the moment.
It must be frustrating though, because I almost went there. Sometimes you got to do some crap to get to the really good stuff. But he's already done a fair bit of crap.
He has, bless him. He really has,
update on Indy Hartwell. Obviously a big injury scare on NXT this week. And the NXT Women's Championship match. No official update on her status, but she has shared a photo on Instagram wearing a walking boot, and it appears that she's dropped, I think, a sandwich.
I think she dropped a sandwich, which is the biggest tragedy in all this. No, I'm only joking. It's because it was a sandwich. It looked delicious. No, I wish her nothing but the best.
Yeah. She's great.
She's great. It was a really brutal injury. Me and Tom were talking about it too. Just the way that her leg and ankle sort of folded when Tiffany Stratton did the senton off the top onto the outside, and then for her to then come back out because it was reported. It was reported that Tiffany Stratton was supposed to win that belt as well. Like it was going to be called. She was going to pick up the belt, but then out came Indy Hartwell to finish the match, and that's such a more power to her. I think Dijak was even saying he was sat in the medical bit backstage and she was just like selling like a champ as well.
Go on, it's like Austin refusing assistance, getting up of his own accord.
Yes,
but on
like
NXT.
Cody, walking to the back and then.
No, it's good, and it will get her over. I love her anyway.
Absolutely.
I think she's class. We are finishing off with a few little tidbits from SmackDown tonight. Obviously, it is the draft special of SmackDown, the first one tonight, the next one on Monday. I'm going to be live streaming both, by the way. You can set a reminder. There's a link in the pinned comment below. I look forward to seeing you there super late tonight and Monday. We already know about one of these matches, just in case you missed the other one. So we've got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn battling the Usos in that WrestleMania rematch for the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles. Not just that. Zelina Vega gearing up for Rhea Ripley. She's going to be taking on Sonya Deville, as Americans say.
You've got an extra line.
I don't know what happened
What's happened there? Yeah, no. Looking forward to the tag team rematch for sure.
What's your beef with Zelina?
What?
Why aren't you looking forward
there's
to
no beef with Zelina.
Zelina and Sonya?
I'm more looking forward to the match
Me
at
too.
Backlash than the one with
for
Sonya
sure.
Deville. But that Backlash card is looking pretty stacked at the moment. I'm really excited for it, you know?
It's all right. I was reading the card yesterday before the podcast, and I was like, it really feels like we're entering a new era here. In practically every match, maybe every match, there's like part of a new breed.
Yeah.
And I've really noticed it with Backlash more than any other previous pay-per-view. It's like, okay, you know, you've got your Bronson Reeds, your Austin Theory, you know, all these people coming up now. It feels like we're entering another era almost.
That's exciting.
It is exciting. It is exciting. And Indy Hartwell should be at the front of that because she's the bollocks and she's lost a sandwich.
We should buy her a new sandwich.
We should buy her. Let's crowdfund her a new sandwich.
Crowdfund
Come
Indy
on,
Hartwell
guys.
a new sandwich.
We need $100,000 for it. Anything left over, we'll keep hold of. Right, I'll see you tonight for SmackDown reactions. Look forward to it. Andrew, anything you want to plug?
Twitch.tv/Cultaholic on Monday at 6 p.m. Yeah,
Monday?
I'm going to do Monday. It might not be at 6 p.m. It might be earlier than that. I'll let people know on Twitter.
Check out the notification.
But yeah, we'll be doing WWE.
Subscribe to the
2K23.
Twitch or follow the Twitch. Go and follow the Twitch. Come on, Twitch. Here we go. See you tomorrow.